What happens when two NBA legends clash on the court? How did a simple foul lead to a heated exchange of words and an ejection? Why did LeBron James confront Ime Udoka for using a derogatory word? Isn't it interesting? Find out answers in this thrilling story of basketball drama. LeBron James is a famous basketball player who plays for the Los Angeles Lakers. Ime Udoka is the head coach of the Houston Rockets and at the basketball team. On December 4, 2023, the Lakers and the Rockets played against each other in a game. During the game, there was a verbal conflict between James and Udoka that led to Udoka's ejection from the game. A verbal conflict is when two or more people argue or disagree with words. Sometimes, verbal conflicts can be rude, disrespectful, or offensive. In this case, James and Udoka used some bad words that are not appropriate for children or polite conversations. The conflict started in the fourth quarter of the game when there were about 9 minutes left. The fourth quarter is the last part of the game, and each quarter is 12 minutes long. The Lakers were leading the game by 14 points, which means they had scored more points than the Rockets. One of the Rockets players, Tari Eason, was fouled by one of the Lakers players, Cam Reddish. A foul is when a player breaks a rule or makes illegal contact with another player. When a player is fouled, they get to shoot free throws, which are worth 1 point each. Eason was going to shoot 2 free throws. However, before he could shoot, Reddish bumped into him and said something to him. This is called trash talk, which is when players try to intimidate or annoy their opponents with words. Eason didn't like what Reddish said, and he responded. The two players started jawing, which meant they were arguing or exchanging insults. James, who is the leader of the Lakers and one of the best players in the league, saw what was happening and tried to intervene. He wanted to calm down the situation and prevent it from escalating. He also wanted to defend his teammate Reddish and talk to the referees, who are the officials who enforce the rules and make the calls. The referees are supposed to control the game and make sure the players behave well. They can give technical fouls to players or coaches who act inappropriately or disrespectfully. A technical foul is a penalty that gives the other team one free throw and the ball. If a player or coach gets 2 technical fouls in a game, they are rejected, which means they have to leave the game and cannot return. As James was talking to the referees, Udoka, who is the leader of the Rockets and a former player himself, said something to James from the sideline. The sideline is the area where the coaches and the substitutes sit. Udoka didn't like how James was acting with the referees and accused him of crying like bitches. This is a very rude and offensive way of saying that someone is complaining or whining too much. James heard what Udoka said and was not happy. He told Udoka that they were all grown men and that the bitch word was not cool. He also told Udoka not to use that word so loosely. This means that he thought Udoka was using the word too casually or carelessly without considering how hurtful or disrespectful it was. Udoka didn't back down and repeated what he said. He also called James soft and challenged him to do something about what he said. This means that he thought James was weak or scared and dared him to fight or confront him. At this point, one of the referees, J.T. Orr, decided to step in and stop the conflict. He gave both James and Udoka technical fouls for their behavior. Since this was Udoka's second technical foul of the game, he was ejected and had to leave. James stayed in the game and helped his team win by 10 points. After the game, neither James or Udoka wanted to talk about what happened. They both tried to avoid the topic or make jokes about it. They probably realized what they had acted poorly and didn't want to make it worse. They also wanted to focus on their teams and their performance. LeBron James has faced many allegations in his life till now. Some people have accused him of cheating on his wife and using drugs to enhance his performance. Drugs are substances that can affect the body or the mind in different ways. Some drugs are illegal or banned in sports because they can give an unfair advantage to the user. In 2020, a woman named Irza Haliti claimed that James cheated on his wife with a model named Sofia Jamora. Haliti is married to a football player named Nick Wennett. She posted a message on Instagram saying that James and Jamora were having an affair. An affair is a secret relationship between two people who are not married to each other. Jamora denied the allegation and said she didn't know who James was. In 2021, a podcast host named Sophia Franklin said that James made people sign NDAs before hooking up with them. An NDA is a legal document that prevents someone from revealing or sharing information about something. Hooking up means having a casual sexual encounter with someone. Franklin said she heard this from a friend who hooked up with James. She didn't provide any evidence or details to support her claim. In 2023, a former fighter named Chael Sonnen said that James used PEDs in his career. PEDs are performance-enhancing drugs that can improve the abilities of an athlete. Sonin said he and James had the same drug guy who supplied them with PEDs. He also said that James was investigated by the DEA in 2013 for his involvement in a doping scandal. The DEA is a government agency that deals with drug-related crimes. A doping scandal is a situation where many athletes are caught using banned drugs. These allegations have not been proven to be true, and James has not admitted to any wrongdoing. He has also not commented on them publicly. He has maintained a clean image and reputation as a basketball player and a family man. He has also been praised for his charity work and social activism. He is still one of the most popular and respected athletes in the world. When talking about Udoka and his allegations, he was born in Portland, Oregon on August 9, 1977. His father was from Nigeria, a country in Africa. Udoka played basketball for different schools and colleges in the United States. He was not drafted by any NBA team in 2000, which means no team wanted to sign him. He had to play in other leagues and countries to prove his skills. Udoka finally made it to the NBA in 2003 when he was 26 years old. He played for 5 different teams in 7 seasons. He was known for his defense, which means he was good at stopping the other team from scoring. He also played for the Nigerian national team in international competitions. Udoka retired as a player in 2012 and became a coach. He learned from some of the best coaches in the NBA, such as Greg Popovich and Steve Nash. He helped his teams win many games and reach the playoffs, which are the final rounds of the season. He also coached the USA national team in the Olympics and the World Cup. In 2021, Udoka became the head coach of the Boston Celtics, one of the most successful and famous teams in the NBA. He improved the team's performance and led them to the NBA Finals, which are the last 2 games of the season. The Celtics lost to the Los Angeles Lakers, but Udoka was praised for his coaching. However, Udoka was suspended for the 2022-23 season, which means he was not allowed to coach because he violated some rules of the NBA. He didn't say what he did wrong, but he apologized and said he would learn from his mistakes. In 2023, Udoka was hired by the Houston Rockets, another NBA team. He said he was excited to coach the Rockets and help them become a better team. He also said he was grateful for the opportunity and the support from the Rockets owners and fans. The world-famous sport, the NBA, is a league where the best basketball players in the world play. Basketball is a sport where 2 teams of 5 people each try to score points by throwing a ball into a loop. The NBA has 30 teams, 29 from the United States and 1 from Canada. The teams are divided into 2 groups called conferences, the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. Each conference has 15 teams and each team plays 82 games in a regular season. The regular season lasts from October to April. At the end of the regular season, the best 16 teams, 8 from each conference, qualify for the playoffs. LeBron James and Ime Udoka had a heated argument that resulted in Udoka's rejection. But what did Udoka say that made James so angry? And how did their conflict affect the outcome of the game? Will there be any further spark? Comment your thoughts on this and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.